I'm going to brainwash him into my ex-husband?
Yeah.
That's wild.
A 20-year-old man named Jacob Nolan. He was incredibly smart, gifted by some accounts, but by the time Jake turned 5, he was diagnosed with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, better known as ADHD. As Jake got into his teenage years, his family noticed that his mood swings were getting more unpredictable. It was at that point he was diagnosed with depression and anxiety. By age 17, he had made a suicide attempt. Jake was hospitalized after the event, but was then given a more severe diagnosis, bipolar disorder. So by the time Jake actually entered his college years, his doctors have tried upward of 30 different medications to try and manage this.
That's a lot.
Things only got worse for Jake once he was alone. That's when he began self-medicating with things like drugs and alcohol. But that's when his parents had an idea. Maybe Jake should just go stay with his cousin Pamela in her New York City apartment for a bit. After all, if anyone could help Jake full-time, it was her, because she was a psychiatrist. A little backstory on Pamela. The psychiatrist had fallen in love years before with another New York City psychiatrist named Michael Wise. Not only was it on again, off again, both sides claimed that there were instances of domestic violence from the other. And though Pamela had actually been arrested for it before, during one fight, she attacked Michael with a broken glass and he ended up needing stitches. On another occasion, Michael was arrested after Pamela reported him for attempting to assault her. The whole thing's really ugly, not the kind of loving partnership you would want to bring a kid into, and nonetheless, Pamela had their son in 2008. But she and Michael actually broke up for good shortly after she had their baby. By 2012, during the time Jake was in New York City living with Pamela, she and Michael were actually in a heated custody battle over Calder. And Jake was hearing every single update of what was going on, or at least Pamela's side of things. Pamela told Jake Michael had been abusing Calder when he stayed with him. There's absolutely zero evidence of that, but Pamela doesn't tell Jake that. She just told him over and over practically daily how horrible it was, to the point where Jake was really worried about Calder and it was all he could focus on. But Pamela knew exactly what she was doing. She manipulated him into believing her and taking her side, and then she was going to use him as a weapon to carry out a sadistic plan. She had told him enough horror stories about Michael. She had completely brainwashed Jake.
That's so sad.
And that's when she sat Jake down and told him, there's only one way to keep Calder safe. We need to get rid of Michael Wise once and for all.
This is such a long con plan. It's so messed up.